two stories. We have one story today. It's something that happened to me a couple of weeks ago. Driving up to the Yardley, it happened going up, going back. It's happened to me before, and it's something that I don't know the answer to. So it's a story slash mini rant. I'm driving up to Yardley Saturday morning, and I'm on a highway. By the way, the highway that I'm on is 295, the Baltimore-Washington Parkway. It's the highway that connects DC to Baltimore, runs parallel to 95. The important thing is there are three things that are not on this highway, okay? There are no stop signs, there are no stoplights, there are no toll plazas. We're moving at speed. And if you're taking any trip, if you're moving at speed, you're happy. Traffic, we're moving at speed, and for some reason traffic accordions down. Moving at speed, we've now slowed down. We're now moving at 15 miles an hour. And at this time you want to, is it going to be like this way for 2 minutes, for 2 hours? You don't know. So we're sitting in traffic, and maybe 5 minutes later, traffic accordions out. Okay, we started moving at speed, 15 miles an hour, and now we picked up. Well, now I'm happy again, but you're wondering why do we slow down? And because we slowed down before, you know it can happen again. And sure enough, not 5 minutes later, we're moving at speed, we slow down, we're crawling, and then in a few minutes, it picks back up. Now, as a driver, we all understand there are certain things that make us slow down when we're driving. One is if you're in a construction zone. Not always, but sometimes in a construction zone, if you have to slow down, you understand because they're doing construction. Another reason, if there's an accident, off to the side of the road, people sort of slow down. If there's an accident in the middle of the road, hope you packed a lunch because you're going to be there for a while. If there's a car on the side of the road with smoke coming out, this actually happened to me driving up to the Yardley. As soon as I got on the highway, off to the left there was a Jeep. The front, from the engine, there was smoke and fire coming out. You want to take a picture, but you realize you're driving. Another reason, if there's a cop on the road, everyone knows that you slow down for a cop. And I don't know if people still do this, but years ago, I remember when I used to drive more, if you pass a cop on a highway, as soon as you pass him, if you see the oncoming traffic, you flash him to let him know that there's a cop. Is that a thing? Do people still do that? Another reason is traffic in the other direction. If there's some kind of accident or some kind of delay in the other direction, you've got the rubbernecking. That causes slowdown. And the last thing I'll point out is, those mobile crews, and this also happened to me, driving up in Pennsylvania on 95, it was just south of Philly. They were doing some road work on the left side, the left shoulder, so they took out the passing lane, the left lane, and there was that big utility truck, and on the back is the big arrow move over. Anytime you've got, 4 lanes merge to 3 or 3 to 2, we all understand, if you've got to merge, you're going to slow down. We all understand these things. But Saturday morning on the 2-lane highway, there was none of that. Dude, why do we slow down? We're moving at speed, we accordion down, and then why does it do that? I think the first time this happened to me was up in Jersey on the Turnpike, a road that I haven't been on very often. Again, Turnpike, no stop signs, no traffic lights, no toll plaza. It's not only a straight shot, but in Jersey, the road is like it's a straight line. And I remember we're moving at speed, and then it accordions down, and we're crawling. We're crawling for what seemed like forever until it finally, and there was no reason why. Of course, if you're stuck in traffic, the options of things you could be doing at that time, they're limited. You could be listening to music, or maybe a book on tape, or counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, 'cause we are trapped in the Garden State. On the way home, back from Yardley a couple weeks ago, we had the usual delays. There's the delay before Philly, there's the delay after Philly, there's the delay getting into Maryland when traffic from the Delaware Bridge is merging in. And then a bad one, as 95 approaches the Beltway, the DC Capitol Beltway, the last 10 minutes of 95 before hitting the Capitol Beltway was just a disaster. I get on the Beltway and you think, well, all these cars have to go somewhere. Are they going to come with me? I chose to take the east side of the Beltway. I get on the Beltway and traffic has thinned out. I guess everyone went west. I went east. I'm now on the Capitol Beltway, and now I'm flying, and I'm a half hour from home, from my house, and Things are good. I'm thinking about what I have to do when I get home. I'm going to see Bella. I'm excited to get home. And then, you guessed it, traffic goes from moving at speed. We've now accordion down. We're not doing 15 miles an hour. We've come to a complete stop. You see why this is a mini ramp. The Beltway, the east side of the Beltway is 4 lanes, and the east side of the DC Capitol Beltway is now turned into a parking lot. We're not moving. As far as you can see are the red brake lights. And by the way, that Saturday was no sun the entire day. So even though it's like 6 o'clock at night, it felt like nighttime. It was dark, it was cloudy, it was rain, and traffic has come to a stop. I'm sitting there with dozens of cars, and you're just, is the last half hour going to take me 2 hours to get home, 3 hours to get home? And incidentally, those of you who've been calling out, the Waze, the Google Maps, the traffic app, the Siri, the Alexa, if you're literally sitting, stopped on any highway, in the parkway, you're not moving, what good does the traffic app help you? The next exit isn't for 2 or 3 miles. Okay, I live near the Capitol Beltway. Yes, eventually, if traffic is crawling, I can get off of the Capitol Beltway, I can take the side street, I'll get home. But when you're stopped, what good does the app help you? So I'm sitting there on the Beltway, and not happy, and after 5 minutes, not only has traffic cleared out, but we're moving at speed, and it was as if like someone has scooped out 50% of the cars, because as we're now moving at speed, there's like a few car here, car there. We're just flying. How does this happen? And that's my question to you. How does this happen? Do you know? Well, here at TBG TV Studios, of course, we have the I-Team. As always, the I-Team, we're working for you. So I tasked the I-Team to scour the internets and to figure out why this happens. Okay, so in chatting with the ChatGPT, they actually had some interesting thoughts about this, and they say, as Michael Jackson sings, tell them that it's human nature, because that's what it is, it's human nature. Because we all have different sensibilities that we bring to our driving. We all drive at different speeds. We have different reaction times. We all, as we're following cars, the distance, it varies because we're all different. And all it takes is one car to slow down, the car behind him reacts, and then you've got at speed, you're according down, and you're sitting there. So I thought that was kind of nice. So I'm chatting with ChatGPT about this, and they say, would you like a poem? A poem? Would you like a poem? I said, okay, write me a poem. They write me a poem about this whole thing, and the poem is pretty good. And so what I do is, could you change this part? Can you add this term? Can you add that term? And so for the big finale, we have a poem written by me and ChatGPT. It's got a pretty good title. It's called The Ghost in the Lane. No cones, no lights, no sign up ahead. Traffic won't clear. It thickens instead. A tap of the brakes, a nervous blink. Momentum is gone. Throw it in the sink. It's enough already, is said with a groan. Oklahoma is heard from a Cadillac's phone. Napkins and toilet paper drifting on by. Yet nobody knows the real reason why. For lunch, then rings out. Is it noontime already? Don't you like bi-levels? Tensions get thready. A driver then speaks, an epic crowd pleaser. I'll drag an old chicken from out of the freezer. Will this never end? Heard sneezed through a tissue. We're not moving at all. That's the real issue. That nobody speaks. Not a son, not a daughter. This never could happen at the Edgewater. The traffic's so bad it throbs in my brain. At least we know why. The ghost in the lane. Maybe next time I'll fly or ride on a train. Avoid all delays by that ghost in the lane. We have a little bit more of that poem coming up, but right now we're going to take a little side trip, a little sidestep, because if you're sitting in the car for a long time, regardless of whether it's a long journey or you're stuck in traffic, eventually you want to break, you want to stop, you want to stretch your legs, maybe get a bite to eat, get some gas. As long as you're stopping anyway, we have some suggestions of some places that you might want to visit. That was by far my favorite trip to Tangent City. I think we had a number of good suggestions for places you could check out. If you're looking to plan a fun vacation, we had a suggestion. If you're looking to buy some clothing, maybe get some footwear, we had a suggestion. What if you wanted to see a show, a little entertainment? We had some advice. We had a lot of suggestions for food, places you can go eat, restaurants, diners, ice cream, place to get a bite to eat. Really, when it came to suggestions, I think we covered the whole tray. But my fave, the next time you're in Florida and looking for a really big adventure, we close the show as promised with the rest of the poem, and it goes a little something like this. My poem almost done. Yes, this is the end. And written in part with my GPT friend. That traffic delay, the tension it brings. What you do? Go through the cones or something? As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, right here on the YouTube.